So, in continuation with yesterday's lecture, today we are going to deal with the last part of chapter, that is biological classification, and we will talk here about the other kingdoms. That is matter of discussion here. We successfully completed three kingdoms, that is fungi, Monera, Protista, and fungi. So we are going to talk about the rest two and the sixth new kingdom, that is virus. So first we will talk about kingdom Plantae. As I told you, here we will have only the brief outline of kingdom Plantae, because we are having a whole chapter dedicated to plants, and there we will have ample enough opportunity to identify different types of plants. So we are going to deal with the characters which are common for all types of plants. So first of all plants will have eukaryotic chlorophyll or containing cells, and they can be partially heterotroph, like in case of insectivorous plants, they go for heterotrophism to solve the problem about unavailability of certain nutrient in the soil. Okay. Now, these plant cells have eukaryotic structures with prominent chloroplast. Cells have big vacuoles. Generally, they are non-motile. And in case of kingdom Plantae, they will be definitely non-motile, because here we are talking about multicellular organisms which may have motile cells, but all over the organism will be non-motile. Cell division will be anastral because centrosome is absent in them, and it will include algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, and angiosperm. In case of life cycle of plants, they have two distinct phases. What are distinct phases? They have sporophytic stage. So what is this sporophytic stage? Sporophytic stage is something where the spore bearing part is present, and gametophytic stage is there, which is talking about the gametes. So in their life cycle, sporophytic phase and gametophytic phase will come in alternation. पहले sporophyte, उसके बाद gametophyte, फिर वापस से sporophyte, वापस से gametophyte. So that is why it is called alternation of generation. That is why this phenomenon is called alternation of generation. Similarly, like I almost taught you life cycle of all organisms. I told you haploid and diploid phase also comes. In some cases, the original organism is haploid, like we observed in case of fungi. So they form zygospore and then there was meiosis. In case of plant, the original organism, in case of pteridophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperm is diploid. In algae, it is compulsorily haploid. In bryophyte, both options are available. Okay, so alternation of generation is not only about sporophytic and gametophytic. It can be of haploid phase and diploid phase also. That also come in alternate order. कभी diploid फिर haploid, वापस से haploid, कभी diploid. So depending on कितना time, अगर consider करो एक organism की life cycle, if we consider it as 1 hour. Out of this 1 hour time, कितना time वो diploid stage में रहता है and कितना time haploid stage में रहता है, if we want to check that. If the diploid stage is covering maximum time, we will call it diplontic life cycle. If haploid phase is covering maximum, we call it haplontic life cycle. And if both are achieving same amount of time or similar amount of time, we call it haplodiplontic life cycle. We will talk about it when I will discuss life cycle. So these are diversity of plant kingdom. They can also be found in different habitat, and depending on habitat, they will have different modification. So now we will talk about Animalia. This is a completely heterotrophic kingdom. They also have multicellularity, but they don't have cell wall. So basically all animals are directly or indirectly depending on other kingdoms for food. Mainly plant, but some other kingdoms also. So in plant, the storage food material is starch. In animal, it is glycogen or fat. The nutrition is holozoic generally. That means they take the whole food in the way we eat. Okay. And they follow a definite growth pattern. हमारे केस में एनिमल्स के स्ट्रक्चर डेफिनेट होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इंसान के 2 हाथ होते हैं, 2 पैर होते हैं. In normal condition, you cannot see 4 hands, 2 legs. In plant, it is not definite. Branches, number of branches in a tree is not fixed. It varies tree to tree. Okay. Most of them are capable of locomotion, and sexual reproduction is by copulation generally. But these are different types of animals. You studied about them in lower grades. They can be invertebrate. These are different types of invertebrates, and these are different types of vertebrates. So any doubts regarding plant and animal kingdom, beta?
No, ma'am.
So we will move ahead for the 6th kingdom. Actually, when Whitaker proposed the 5th kingdom of classification, this kingdom was not mentioned. It was added later on, and it is known as the 6th kingdom. So what is this 6th kingdom? What is so special? Virus, the meaning of virus is poisonous liquid. Scientists who isolated virus termed it as contagium, fluidum, liquidium contagium fluidum. That means it is a contagious poisonous fluid. Okay, so it is a poisonous liquid. Why we call liquid? Because generally it is present in the tissue fluid of organism who is suffering from that disease. That's why we call it liquid. Otherwise, bacteria itself is solid one. It is not at all liquid. So they are told to be in the borderline of living and non-living. Why? Because when they are present in host cell, they show the characteristics of living, that is, they reproduce. Okay. But when they are outside host cell, they are inanimate object. They don't have single sign of living non-living. Neither growth, nor reproduction, nor response to stimuli. They are as good as crystal of salt and sugar. You can even crystallize them. Nothing matters to them, whatever you want to do. That is why it is very, very difficult to kill virus. Because when it is present inside your body, it is present inside your cell. If you are applying any kind of medicine, it will cause harm to yourself also. And many a times medicines will not be able to go inside the cell and act. And when it is outside, it is already dead. ये तो बात ऐसी हुई कि भूत का खून करना, जो मरा हुआ है उसको कैसे मारोगे? They are called acellular. What is acellular? Acellular means they don't have cell structure. Neither prokaryotic nor eukaryotic. They don't have cellular condition at all. So they are not part of 5 kingdoms. That's why I added us into 6 kingdoms. They are infectious. They are obligate parasite. They cannot have any other mode of survival than parasitism. अगर वो वायरस है, that means it will be an obligate parasite one. So इसका कोई ना कोई host होगा, and generally it is harmless to others. वो सिर्फ अपने host पे ही effect करता है. Yes, यशवी.
मैम सारे ही वायरस अपना म्यूटेशंस हर बार बदलते हैं?
No, नहीं. Yes, आयुषी.
मैम आपने कहा कि जब वो बॉडी के बाहर होते हैं तो वो इनएनिमेट ऑब्जेक्ट होते हैं, तो फिर मैम उनको होस्ट सेल का आइडेंटिफिकेशन कैसे होता है कि नहीं मतलब यही
Host
होस्ट सेल है?
identify them. They identify host. Very good question, Ayushi. I'm very happy that you asked this question. Actually, there are receptors on the surface of host cell. When they bind to them, they get activated, and then host cell help them to take inside. तो हम अपनी वायरसों को अपने अंदर लेते हैं. We take that.
ओके मैम.
So host is a living object. Actually, it is a means of virus for virus to reproduce, and they are selectively, and there are receptors on the surface of host cell, जहाँ virus lock and key की तरह bind हो जाता है, and then virus insert its genetic material inside, or sometimes in some cases virus itself go inside, but ultimately nucleus के अंदर उसका DNA जाता है या nuclear material में उसका DNA जाता है, because virus are so notorious they can affect prokaryotes also, that there are virus which cause disease to bacteria, so you can understand how small they can be. So basically they take control over the cell. Then cells are slave of virus. Virus will tell cells to produce multiple copies of virus, और जब सब copies से cell भर जाएगा, there will be pressure, cell will rupture and virus will come out. So this is how they cause harm to us. So now we will talk about the structure of virus. Okay, virus can be having different types of structure. Depending on their shapes, but these are the basic things which will be present in all types of virus generally. Generally word is applicable in case of virus क्योंकि इनके case में exception ही exception है. First thing that will be present 100% in all type of virus is the nucleic acid, but it's not necessary that the nucleic acid will be DNA. It can be RNA also, and you will be astonished to know that it is also not required that DNA will be double-stranded and RNA will be single-stranded. Virus can have double-stranded DNA. It can have single-stranded DNA too. For example, polyphage FT or 5X174 is also having single-stranded DNA. It can be having single-stranded RNA like TMV and influenza virus. The RNA can be double-stranded also, for example, in reovirus and bone tumor virus. So this is the compulsory part of virus where one or the other genetic material will be taken. Now, apart from that, they can have a protein coat around them, which is called capsid. It is making 95% of the virus body, and capsid is made up of protein monomers called capsomere. Its main purpose is to protect the internal genetic material. In some cases, capsid, envelope, tail कुछ नहीं रहता है. Virus is having only naked genetic material. Such virus are called viroid. अगर वायरस में कुछ नहीं रहा तो उस तरीके के वायरस को बोला जाता है viroid. Okay. So apart from capsid, in some cases there can be presence of envelope. जैसे हमारा जो कोरोना वायरस है इसके पास envelope है. It is the outermost coating. ये लिपिड से जनरली बना हुआ होता है और कार्बोहाइड्रेट से. ये जो every time we say that you should sanitize your hand. Have you ever wondered कि how sanitization or washing with the soap will be helpful? Class?
Ma'am, by rubbing it, the upper surface of virus gets removed.
Virus gets removed, do you think?
No, ma'am, the upper layer, that is spike protein or some type of covering that protects them.
Actually, the envelope of this virus is made up of lipid, which can be dissolved by using alcohol or soap molecules. Okay, so obviously if envelope is repeat, the spike protein which is used for attachment with the host cell will also be removed. That's why it is prescribed. But कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं, सैनिटाइजर हाथ में लिया तुरंत. You should allow the sanitizer or soap to work. सोप हाथ में डाला ऐसे घिसा तुरंत. You need to wash hand for certain period of time to ensure that the thing work. You need to give it some time to work, then only it will be there. So the virus which infect bacteria have tail-like structures. These tails are used for attachment with the bacteria. So these are the basic parts. So nothing is compulsory except nucleic acid in them. Virus was first discovered by D.J. Ivanovsky. He used the name virus, and I told you that Bajer and Kay told about contagium vivum fluidum, infectious living fluid. He mentioned his living fluid because fluid was not living, but the tissue was having something unidentified into it. Let me tell you, virus can be seen only with the help of electron microscope. Light microscope is not enough to make virus visible. So at that time, they thought the fluid itself is infectious. Later on, the presence of virus was demonstrated, and W.M. Stanley was the first person who crystallized virus. Okay, and after crystallization, we were able to understand virus in a better way. So there can be viruses in different virus in different shapes. It can be helical. It can be tadpole-like. So let us look into the different types of different shapes of virus. So helical shaped virus are composed of single type of capsomere, and they are arranged like this. As you can see, this is the structure of tobacco mosaic virus. In this case, the pink part is the RNA, and you can see the capsid. This each and every leaf-like structures of this are capsomere, and totally they will form the layer which is called capsid. So you can see that how RNA is attached with the single capsids, and then they are coiling to give you a total structure of virus. So when you look into the final structure of virus, it will appear as if it is a like cylindrical structure. So next is the cubic or polyhedral structure. So this type of structure is called cubic or polyhedral. This structure is called icosahedron. You can see many triangles are combined to give you the structure, and you can see external appendages are nothing but the spike proteins. Okay, so here capsomeres are arranged in a triangular phase. There can be minimum 3 capsomere, maximum can be many, but they will be connected to each other to form a icosahedron structure. Inside this capsid, what I can see, inside this capsid, the genetic material is present. Depending on the size of virus, like the number of capsomeres are there, 60 capsomeres generally are there. So 60 divided by 3, that means 20 triangles will be there, and they are each capsomere on triangular face are surrounded by 6 others. How? Let me tell you. Let me draw the diagram. Consider करो कि ये एक आपका कैप्सोमियर है. अब अगर आप कंसीडर करो कि ऐसे ट्रायंगुलर स्ट्रक्चर्स है, सो देखो इसके चारों ओर हाउ मेनी कैप्सोमियर्स विल बी देयर. Can you tell me by the side of this capsomere, how many capsomeres are there? 1, 2, 3,
6.
4, 5, and 6. This is how they are arranged. Okay. So they will be having pentagonal, hexagonal structure, vertices, and finally they will be giving you this icosahedral structure. This is the icosahedral structure. Beautiful, isn't it? Not
Yes,
at all
yes.
beautiful, bapre bap. It's causing disease to us. So last, the complex one. It is a combination of, you can say, the cylindrical and cuboidal. So it has both the part. For example, bacteriophages. I told you, bacteriophage, bacteriophage, virus which can eat up the bacteria. Not eat up in the true sense because they are very small. They destroy the bacteria. That's why. So you can see the head part which is having the genetic material will be the icosahedron structure. Many triangles form this head part. Then they will have a collar. Here in this sheath part, there will be presence of contractile protein. What is the role of contractile protein? I will tell you. And this is the tail fiber. With tail fiber, they get attached to the bacterial cell. Now what happens is when they need to infect, these DNA or RNA present inside needs to come out and get into the bacterial cell, isn't it? So for pumping action, this contractile protein contract and expand. मतलब इसकी लेंथ एक बार बड़ी होती है, एक बार छोटी होती है, वापस से एक बार बड़ी होती है, एक बार वापस से छोटी होती है. So that there will be a pumping action and then this DNA or RNA can come inside the bacterial cell. So this is how they move their DNA. This is the most complex type of virus that is possible. Is the structure of bacteriophage clear to all of you?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will move ahead. We will talk about reproduction of virus. Actually, virus reproduction is made up of two cycles. One is called lytic and lysogenic cycle. Lysogenic cycle is not a permanent one always. Sometimes what happens is, you must have observed कि अगर किसी को कोविड हुआ है, even if that person is asymptomatic, it is suggested कि आप उस person को suggest किया जाता है कि you do not come in contact with others. 14 days quarantine. Isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever
Yes,
thought
ma'am.
कि उसको तो disease हुआ ही नहीं है, then why you are isolating that person? Actually, let me tell you बेटा, हमारे देश में इतनी जो कोविड की स्प्रेड हुई है ना, that is majorly spread due to not from patients. जो लोगों को प्री कोविड स्टेज था, that means उनको बाद में सिम्टम्स दिखा, उन्होंने पहले इग्नोर किया, उनसे लोगों को स्प्रेड हुआ है. और दूसरा सबसे ज्यादा इनसे स्प्रेड हुआ है जो एसिम्प्टोमेटिक. सो क्या होता है, whenever virus is coming inside any organism, it will try and capture the machinery of that cell. But if cell is strong enough, it is having a strong immune system, then it will not allow the virus to capture it. So virus will be dormant stage and it will stay there maybe for years. वो सालों दर साल बैठा रह सकता है. There was a study about COVID which is showing that patients who are affected by COVID, they have slight change in their genetic material. Still no official communication is there, but I have a habit of reading research papers, so I came to know. So it may be that a person who is already cured with a virus, and if a person is thinking, okay, I am all right, I don't have virus inside me, Virus can be hidden inside in dormant stage, and the when situation is favorable for virus, that means you are having some kind of stress, you are not feeling well, your immune system is down. At that time, even after 5 years, the virus can re-emerge. Okay, so God and immune system, these two only options are there for virus. Okay. So in lysogenic cycle is a temporary phase. Finally, it will go to lytic cycle, but it may be a transient phase in the life cycle. So what is this lytic cycle? Lytic cycle, in lytic cycle, virus will first bind to the surface of host cell. I told you receptor proteins are there which help in binding. It will insert it DNA, I wrote, but understand that RNA can be there. If it is RNA, then after inserting into cell, the virus convert into DNA. क्योंकि अगर आरएनए है हमारे सेल को तुरंत पता चल जाएगा कुछ गड़बड़ है, क्योंकि कंसीडर, लेट मी टेल यू वन एग्जांपल विथ व्हिच यू विल अंडरस्टैंड. Consider we have genetic material which is double stranded. Okay, so if virus is inserting its RNA, which is a single stranded structure, then what will happen, beta? Virus की जो चोरी है, it will be caught. Why? Because structure will be something like that. तो ये DNA तो कटा हुआ रह जाएगा. So it will be doubtful for the organism. So that's why what they do, they convert this RNA into a DNA and then insert that DNA into host cell. So this is mechanism done by virus. So if it is DNA, then this indirect process is not required. DNA can be directly inserted. Now this DNA will be part of host genetic material and it will take control. Let's have a look into the picture. It will be easy for you to understand. Attachment of virus, entry of virus inside the cell, preparation of viral genomes and protein, their assembly, and finally virus release. So this is all about lytic cycle. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So we will now talk about the lysogenic cycle. I told you this is a temporary part. All lysogenic cycle will finally generally go for lytic cycle. हाँ, अगर उससे पहले ही organism मर गया, then it will be there in the form of lytic only, lysogenic only. So let's look into the form of picture. That phage infect, same. Cells keep on dividing and every new cell will have a piece of virus with them. Under stressful condition, the cell will move into lytic cycle and then lytic cycle will proceed. So this is all about lysogenic cycle. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
So we will now talk about viroids and prions. What are viroids and prions? Viroids are small virus which has only RNA. They don't have any covering. Theo Diner was the person who isolated this from a special type of diseased potato which is having spindle disease. So that's why this viroid is named as spindle tuber virus. Okay. So you can understand how to kill it. It has only RNA present in it. Doesn't have anything. Next, the deadly thing is prion proteins. They are self-replicable protein. They cause mad cow disease. अब ये have you ever seen any zombie movies?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Resident Evil है और कुछ जिसमें लोगों को काट लेते तो वो zombies बन जाते हैं. So it is predicted. Still, there is no isolated prion for it, but it is predicted that zombies are formed due to prions. So these diseases mainly affect our nervous tissue, and the person who is having like prions inside their nervous tissue do not have sense of pain or anything. They have only one impulse, that is to how to make others infected by prion. So mad cow disease or scrappy disease, these prions are already isolated, that's why it is mentioned there. Work is going on. ये COVID period में California में there was another disease which is very rare. Scientists are like they are doubtful that this is also caused by prion. So this is a brief outline where you can compare the virus, viroid, and prions. So next we will talk about lichens. Lichen is not a single organism. That is why it is very difficult to classify and make it fit in five kingdom classification. So they are symbiotic association of algae and fungi. The algal component is called phycobiont and fungal mycobiont. Algae is producing the food and fungi is producing shelter, and it is also helpful for absorption of mineral, nutrient, and water. So if you look into them, it is almost impossible to understand that they are two different organisms. Okay, so they are very good indicators of pollution. They generally never grow in polluted areas. And let me tell you, in areas where snowfall is there are months when no plants grow there. The animals present over in those areas, they have sense to smell lichen. They dig the ice and eat up the lichen. Lichen is the only source of food for them. But by God's grace, we human beings reach everywhere and pollute every part of earth, maybe with the packets of potato chips to the chewing gums to the things we don't know. Fruity, मतलब कहीं पे भी आप जाओ, we love to be in the comfort level of our home, and while coming from there, we throw those materials over there, which is having a huge impact on the ecosystem. And slowly day by day, पहले लोग चल के नहा नहीं जा पाते थे, अब रास्ता बन गया है and people go there. So basically it is destroying the biodiversity of the earth. So these are images of lichen. Last but not least, I just wish to talk about some common viral diseases. I wish you people to know about it. These two words, first of all, everyone use this word pandemic. What do we mean by pandemic? Pandemic is the bigger version of epidemic. Epidemic means large scale outbreak of disease, and when it is occurring globally, we call it pandemic. So you know about AIDS virus. It is directly attacking our immune system, and AIDS में कोई भी इंसान AIDS में नहीं मरता है. That person died due to other disease because it finish off our immune system. And you can understand कि एक इंसान सिम्टम फ्री 10 साल तक रह सकता है. सोचो, उसको पता ही नहीं चलेगा उसको एड्स हुआ है. सो 10 years तक वो लाइसोजेनिक साइकिल में रहेगा. अनफेवरेबल सिचुएशन में इतने कम कमाओ. अब उसको पता ही नहीं है, तो वो पता नहीं कितने लोगों को इन्फेक्ट कर चुका होगा बाय दैट टाइम. बट थैंकफुली एड्स में बॉडी फ्लूइड से ही इन्फेक्शन होता है. सो सिंपली बाय टचिंग और टॉकिंग the infection does not spread. Common cold, not that much difficult one. बोलना नहीं चाहिए not that much difficult one. Actually, coronavirus is also similar to the common cold virus only. Actually, corona is not deadly, beta. If we take precaution, if proper treatment can be done at proper time, it is not at all a life-saving disease. Although it claimed life just because it is having more spreadability, and we are never ever taking precaution. जब हमारे देश में फर्स्ट टाइम 60 days का लॉकडाउन हुआ था, अगर 100 में से 80% people would have followed it properly, तब कोरोना इतना खराब कंडीशन में नहीं होता, पर तभी हमको घूमने जाना था, सब कुछ करने जाना था. We have to eat food, we have to enjoy holidays. So that's why we are seeing this condition. Next is flu. Actually, it's in viral infection, it's all about breaking the cycle. आप अगर सिर्फ और सिर्फ 15-20 दिन वायरस को नया होस्ट नहीं दे रहे हो ना, ऑल वायरस विल नॉट बी स्प्रेडिंग वन से. ये 15-20 दिन चुप बैठने का खेल है. अगर 15-20 दिन में वायरस को नया होस्ट नहीं मिल रहा है, वायरस स्प्रेड करेगा ही नहीं, एंड दिस चेन विल बी ब्रोकन. Many countries successfully did it and they are COVID free now, but we are impatient, maybe due to some reason. Next is flu virus, influenza virus. It is also spread via like respiratory droplet, and we all know that viral fever जिसे बोला जाता है, that is the influenza virus. Herpes, which is a sexually transmitted disease, and it has two versions. HS1 is not that deadly. HS2 is very deadly. It actually destroy the genital system. Ebola, ये thank God it is restricted to Africa. इसमें confusion, haze, headache, seizures मतलब body में कपकपाहट and diarrhea. All these things are there in our body in presence of Ebola virus. Smallpox and chickenpox. Actually smallpox अभी किसी को होता ही नहीं है. इसकी वैक्सीनेशन, इसका इरेडिकेशन हम सक्सेसफुली कर चुके हैं. सिर्फ लैब में थोड़े स्पेसिमेन रख दिए गए हैं ताकि इन फ्यूचर इफ एनी टाइम दिस डिजीज विल कम बैक, वी हैव इनफ वायरस टू प्रिपेयर द वैक्सीन. अगर हम सभी लोग थोड़ा सा सोच समझ के चले तो वन फाइन डे, maybe 20 years later, some other teacher may be teaching some other students that पता है कोरोना वायरस भी था, ये डिजीज अब नहीं होता है. जैसे पोलियो को काफी हद तक हम खत्म कर चुके हैं. नेक्स्ट इज रेबीज. ये रेबीड एनिमल के बाइटिंग से होता है बिकॉज इट इज प्रेजेंट इन देयर सलाइवा. इससे भी सीजर्स, पैरालिसिस, हैलुसिनेशन होता है. इसे हाइड्रोफोबिया भी बोलते हैं क्योंकि मसल इतनी तरीके से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर लिया जाता है दैट यू कैन नॉट ड्रिंक वाटर एंड इट इज अ वेरी पेनफुल डेथ. नो वन शुड गो फॉर हैव रेबीज. इसीलिए ये प्रेस्क्राइब किया जाता है कि अगर किसी को किसी एनिमल ने बाइट किया है and then you should go immediately to doctor and take the rabies injection. Chickenpox is a milder version of smallpox. ये तो बहुत सारे लोगों को हो भी गया होगा आप में से. It's not deadly if taken care on time. Polio is entering through bloodstream or it can be transmitted to the fecal matter. जिसको पोलियो हुआ है उसकी स्टूल से ये पास होता है. मेजॉरिटी पीपल डू नॉट शो सिम्टम. आई टोल्ड यू गेम ऑफ इम्यून सिस्टम. जिनको सिम्टम्स होता है वो फीवर, वॉमिटिंग और उनकी मसल काम करना बंद कर देता है. दैट मींस दे विल बी हैविंग पैरालिसिस. एन्केफेलाइटिस, इट इज स्प्रेडिंग बाय इंसेक्ट बाइट्स और स्टिंग. इट इज कॉल्ड ब्रेन फीवर आल्सो because brain is affected by this. This is the villain who is made our life, like it gave our life a new twisted train, and that is coronavirus. So now the forum is open for discussion. Any question? Anyone?
No, ma'am.
So I want you people to show a very nice video about the reproduction of virus. It's a 3D video, so I request all of you to pay your attention and enjoy this beautiful video of virus reproduction. I guess the screen is visible.
Ma'am, can you increase the quality of the picture?
I think it is already HD quality. Anyways,
Every cell in your body is a tiny factory, constantly making proteins. Your genetic code, or DNA, directs every activity. Protein-making machinery in the cell reads the cell's own DNA and makes sure the cell proteins go where they're needed. Viruses have their own genetic code, but they don't have the machinery to copy their DNA. So viruses need your cell's machinery to reproduce themselves. A virus starts this process by using the keys on its surface to gain entry. Like a Trojan horse, it enters the cell. The virus releases its own DNA into the unsuspecting cell and hijacks the protein-making machinery. Now, this vital cell function becomes an assembly line for new virus particles. No longer in service to your body, the cell now serves the virus, manufacturing thousands of new virus particles, which are released to enslave more cells, thousands and thousands more.
So we will look into other video. Give me some time so that I can share the screen. So my all-time favorite Amoeba Sisters video. I guess you also like them because they
Yes,
are
ma'am.
definitely a way to
Yes.
remember small things in a funny way. So I cannot imagine class without them.
Coughing and can make you feel awful. The worst chances are in your life you've had the common cold before. It can cause sneezing and coughing and can make you feel awful. The worst thing about the common cold is that you can take medications to help with the symptoms, but you really can't treat the actual cold with antibiotics like you would a strep throat infection or an infected tooth. Why? Well, let's talk about what causes it. A virus. The common cold is caused by a virus. While all living things are made of one or more cells, see the modern cell theory, viruses are not cells. Viruses aren't technically classified as living things since they lack many characteristics of life. But there is some debate in calling them non-living as well. Medications like antibiotics attack bacteria like E. coli, which are living cells. Antifungal medications can be used on fungi like athlete's foot, which are made of living cells. Viruses are not bacteria or fungi. You can't classify a virus as a prokaryote or a eukaryote either because it's not a cell. So what is their structure like? First of all, viruses are much, much smaller than cells. You typically are going to need an electron microscope in order to see a virus. Viruses come in many shapes. Our favorite one to draw is the bacteriophage. It sounds very fancy, but it's a type of virus that tends to attack bacteria. Despite this being our favorite to draw, know that the shape of viruses vary greatly. One thing all viruses have in common is that they have some type of genetic material. This genetic material can be in the form of DNA or RNA. Viruses usually have some kind of protein coat, also known as a capsid. The capsid can protect the DNA or RNA genetic material. Viruses can also have other structures. Some viruses package special enzymes with them. Some viruses have an outer envelope. These additions can be useful to the virus in virus replication. One thing that makes virus replication or reproduction unique is that they can't replicate without a host. And it's their reproducing that tends to be a problem for its host, whether the host is you, in the case of the common cold, or an insect, plant, this bacterium. Viruses tend to be very specific for the host that they're going to infect, but anything that is alive can be a host because cells have the machinery that viruses need in order to replicate. We're going to talk about two types of viral replication cycles. The first one is the lytic cycle. In the lytic cycle, the virus, remember very selective, attaches to a host cell. It often binds to a receptor that this cell has, which gives it access to attach. The virus can inject either its DNA or RNA, depending on what kind of genetic material it has, into the cell. Some types of viruses are actually taken inside the cell themselves. Now, you would think that the cell would notice viral DNA or RNA or an entire virus that has been taken in, but in many cases, it does not. It takes the genetic material from the virus and it starts following the instructions, which in this case is very bad because the instructions tell it to make copies of the virus. The cell uses its own resources to start building. It starts making so many copies of the virus that it can cause the cell membrane of the host to rupture, explode, lyse. So what happens is now that these new viral copies, they can get out of the cell and go and infect other cells. This is known as the lytic cycle. By the way, the lysing of the cell membrane is a very bad thing for the cell. The cell cannot survive without its cell membrane. The other cycle is called the lysogenic cycle, and I like to remember this is the longer word, so I like to think of this as the longer, sneaky cycle. Viruses that go through this cycle tend to do the same thing at the beginning. They inject their genetic material, but this time the genetic material stays hidden in the host genetic material. What happens is that when the host makes new cells, it replicates its own genetic material and the viral genetic material. Then those daughter cells make new cells, and they also replicate their own genetic material and the viral genetic material, and so on. This is the lysogenic cycle. That may not seem like a problem, but it really becomes one if the virus gets triggered to go into the lytic cycle from that point, because then all those cells that had the viral genetic material can start assembling viruses. And as far as what triggers it to go into the lytic cycle, it can vary. It could be a chemical trigger, for example, or a lack of food for the host. Going back to the common cold, a lot of times it has to run its course. Your immune system will typically take care of it, and medications can help with the symptoms so that they don't feel as bad. But unfortunately, some viruses are extremely complicated, like HIV, a virus that can lead to AIDS. Like most viruses, it is very specific. It binds to a CD4 glycoprotein that is found on the surface of specific cells, such as helper T cells. The problem about this particular target is that helper T cells play an important role in protecting the body in the immune system. Since HIV goes after these immune cells, it can make a person that is infected with HIV vulnerable to other infections. There are medications that have been developed to help keep HIV from replicating as quickly, and there continues to be research into looking into ways to keep the virus from attaching, because if the virus can't attach, it can't insert its genetic material. A problem that continues to be a challenge is that many viruses, including HIV, can mutate. So a treatment developed against a certain virus type may not work on a mutated form. So with our talk about viruses, you might wonder, is there anything positive about viruses? Well, some viruses can play a useful role in gene therapy. Definitely something to explore more. Also remember how we mentioned that viruses can go after other organisms, like insects, for example. A virus that targets pest insects could be an alternative to a chemical pesticide. One such example virus that you may want to explore is the nuclear polyhedrosis virus. Still, it's important to consider that whenever talking about any kind of pesticide, chemical or viral, there could be consequences in the ecosystem. Well, that's it for the Amoeba Sisters. I remind you to stay curious.
I think it is an excellent way of revising virus, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So with this, we are done with the chapter number 2. So we will start with chapter number 3. But in your next test, it will be only up to chapter number 3. Sorry, chapter number 2. Chapter number 3 will not be included because in one day it is impossible to teach that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
So any doubts? Anyone? So guys, we will have a look at the revision video of the chapter number 2.
Ma'am, your voice is leaking.
I guess the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are biological kingdoms? We're not talking royalty here, but they are pretty important in grouping or classifying organisms.
Ma'am, voice is very low.
Let me
You can learn more about what classification is in the classifying organisms video. So what are biological kingdoms? We're not talking royalty here, but they are pretty important in grouping or classifying organisms and understanding how they are related. You can learn more about what classification is in the classifying organisms video. Classification attempts to impose a hierarchy on the complex and dynamic variety of life on Earth by describing how different species group together and how related they are to one another or not. Kingdom is the second highest rank below the rank of domain in the sequence of classification. Remember that little rhyme from the classifying organisms video? Do keep ponds clean or frogs get sick? Or you might prefer this one. Definitely keep plucking chickens or face getting sacked. So now looking at how kingdoms are broken down. In 1969, an American plant ecologist called Robert Whittaker introduced a 5 kingdoms classification system with the following 5 kingdoms: Prokaryota, Protoctista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia, which was mainly based upon differences in nutrition. Each kingdom has characteristic features so that an organism can easily be assigned to one of the kingdoms. These characteristics are based on cell walls, whether they are eukaryotic, prokaryotic, and on the way they get nutrition. Starting with animals, also known as Animalia. They are eukaryotic, multicellular, and have no cell walls. They develop from blastocyst, which is part of the embryo development. They have both nervous and hormonal control system. They are heterotrophic, which means they eat stuff and have a digestive system. They are motile, which means they move. Cell division, which enables growth. This happens in the tissue. Plants are kingdom Plantae. They are eukaryotic and multicellular like animals. Unlike animals, they do have cell walls with cellulose in. They are autotrophic, which means they use photosynthesis to make their own energy from sunlight. Their growth is restricted to meristems, which is layers of dividing cells. They are non-motile, and they have a leaf gas exchange system and are waterproofed. The fungi kingdom are eukaryotes and can be multicellular like animals and plants, but could also be unicellular such as yeast. They have cell walls like plants but have a substance called chitin rather than cellulose. They are heterotrophic and saprotrophic, meaning they decompose, so they break things down, or are parasitic. The body of a fungus is composed of a thin filament called hypha. They secrete enzymes, do external digestion, and then absorb the resulting nutrients. The Protoctista kingdom are eukaryote like animals and plants. They can be unicellular and multicellular, like the fungi. They have cell walls, sometimes with polysaccharides. They are autotrophic and heterotrophic. And finally, the Prokaryota kingdom. They are unicellular. They lack organelles that are seen in eukaryotes. They are typically really small, about 10 micrometers in size, much too small to see with the human eye. They have cell walls and are autotrophic, using photosynthesis and chemosynthesis without light, and are heterotrophic. They divide by binary fission, not mitosis. So from this video, you should know, Kingdoms break down into 5 groups based upon different characteristics, including whether they have cell walls, are eukaryotic or prokaryotic, and how they get nutrition.
So that's all from my side today. So we will start with the new chapter tomorrow. You can mark your doubts also, beta. We can take some doubts also. And after some days, when you are gone through the material and questions, then we can have a revision test of this chapter. Okay.